Loaded video here for you today. I'm going to give you my favorite anytime touchdown pick for the Thursday night game between the Broncos and the Raiders, as well as give you my leans on the spread and the total for that game. But at the end, I'm very excited to give you a Super Bowl future and an NFC winner at plus 450. Welcome to the channel. My name is Peter Apple, and my goal is to give you the best free picks with the best free analysis that I can muster. And all I ask for in return, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below. What are your thoughts on this play? You tailing? You fading? Or do you have any other plays that you have questions about? I'd be happy to answer those in the comment section below. Before we get to the plays, a reminder that you can find all of these picks on BetMGM. Just remember to use code JustGridiron if you're new, because if your first pick loses, you get it all back in bonus bets up to $1,500. Especially if you don't have BetMGM yet, you can use the code on this anytime touchdown pick or on the Super Bowl futures. And again, if it loses, you get whatever you wagered on it back in bonus bets up to $1,500. An absolute no-brainer. Let's start with the leans on the spread and the total for this Thursday night football game. Right now, on BetMGM, the Broncos are a 9-point favorite, and the total is 42.5. Looking at my model, I make the total about 42.7, so absolutely nothing on the total. But on the spread, I make it Broncos -8. But here's the thing. My brain really likes the Broncos. I didn't bet it because I don't want to fade my own numbers. But an overtime loss followed by a seller's trade deadline, I can't imagine them really putting up a fight here. And this is also typically a game that Bo Nix and the Broncos would steamroll, and also a game in which the Raiders would fall short. Here's a really cool stat for you. Per Evan Abrams of Action Network, teams on short rest off overtime when their opponent is not off overtime are 26-47 straight up and 23-47-3 against the spread over the last 20 years, failing to cover by about 4.1 points per game. When that team is on the road, it's even worse. They are 9-27 straight up and 10-25-1 against the spread. So my lean here, strong lean, would be the Broncos minus the points. But there is a player on the Broncos showing a lot more value than just taking the Broncos against the spread, and that is Troy Franklin to score a touchdown. We have to remember Troy Franklin and Bo Nix are former teammates at the University of Oregon, which is pretty cool. But what really matters is the amount of targets that Franklin is getting. Did you know that he is number one on the Broncos in target share? Even more than Cortland Sutton, who I think is more talented. But Franklin and Nix clearly have this special connection, especially lately. Franklin has gotten 28 targets over his last 3 games with 3 touchdowns. His last 3 touchdowns came against the Giants and the Cowboys, but against the Texans, last week, he had to deal with Derek Stingley and Lassiter. Much tougher than this matchup, in which he should continue to eat. Overall, Franklin has 64 targets to Sutton at 62, but in the red zone, Franklin has 12 compared to Sutton with just 5. His 34.3% target share in the red zone dwarfs second place Cortland Sutton at just 14.3%. Now, the Raiders, they stink against just about everything, but they especially do against wide receivers. They allowed the 4th most average separation in the NFL. They rank 26th in the NFL in the APA per pass, and that includes a game against the Titans, which at this point is basically a junior varsity team. They give up 3 red zone touchdowns last week, and it would have been 4 if the Jaguars didn't completely melt down and throw an INT in the red zone. For a player who gets this many targets, and that usage is only increasing, especially in the red zone, plus 225 is way too good of a price to stay off, and I would take this all the way down to plus 190. Give me Troy Franklin to find the end zone on Thursday night. All right, let's talk Super Bowl futures, but quickly before we do, if you enjoyed that breakdown, make sure to smash the like button, and of course, hit that subscribe button and let me know down in the comments what you think of Troy Franklin anytime touchdown at plus 225. But you came here for Super Bowl futures, or at least some of you might have. We've had a pretty good run on our futures, to say the least. But you're only as good as your next bet. And this next bet, we're looking at an NFC contender to take care of business. The NFL is pretty wide open right now. I think we can all agree on that. The Chiefs and the Bills have both kind of had their issues, and the Ravens still have a lot of work to do. The Colts and the Patriots, they're the best teams in the AFC right now by record, but I'm not sold either has what it takes to win it all. On the NFC side, the Eagles don't really look like the juggernaut that they were last year. And the Lions, I like the Lions. They're also the most bet team at BetMGM to win the Super Bowl. And they're pretty inconsistent, right? Don't you feel that same way? The Packers, they flash brilliance, but they leave a lot to be desired. But there is one team among them all with Super Bowl pedigree that nobody's really talking about it right now. And they have the numbers to back up a strong case as the best team in the NFL. But they aren't priced like it. The Los Angeles Rams have been on a silent roll. Their only losses this season came in a close game against the Eagles on the road and an overtime loss to their division rival 49ers. They beat those Colts pretty handedly, and they're winners of 3 in a row going into week 10. Extremely easy wins over the Ravens, the Jags, and the Saints. Not great competition, of course, but if you look at the totality of the season, the Rams are firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. They have the number one offense. That's right, number one in success rate in the NFL, and they rank 6th in EPA per play. Matt Stafford, quarterback, playing it at an MVP level. He leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 21 to only 2 interceptions. And he's surrounded by weapons like Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, really strong running back in Kyron Williams. And PFF actually just ranked all of the offensive lines going into week 10. And the Rams come in at number 6, led by Kevin Dotson, one of the best guards in the league. So we know they have a great offense, but how about defensively? Byron Young and Jared Verse headline a young but fantastic defense. By EPA per play, they rank number 1 in the NFL, just ahead of the Texans. And in terms of success rate, they rank 5th. They rank 2nd in EPA against the pass and 5th against the run. The only other team that ranks inside the top 10 is both the Lions, inside the top 10 in both offense and defense is the Lions, but they're on the outside of the top 5 on both sides of the ball. Matt Stafford and Sean McVay have already won a Super Bowl together, so we don't have to deal with any first-timers here when taking these futures. Now, it is a little bit risky to take the Rams Super Bowl and NFC futures before this game against the 49ers, but without Fred Warner and with how well the Rams are playing, they should take care of business here, as they are a 4.5-point favorite, and not, by my model, deservedly so, actually make them 5-point favorites. So, give me the Rams to win the NFC at plus 450 and the Super Bowl at plus 900. I think they should at least be tied as favorites, but they're not. They're 4th or 5th in Super Bowl odds, and they're tied for 2nd in NFC conference odds, when I just believe that is priced wrong. And I want to buy now as the Rams continue to build momentum, and I think they take down the 49ers this Sunday. So give me Rams Super Bowl and Rams NFC. Hopefully you enjoyed these breakdowns. Again, gave you a lean on the side and the total for Thursday night, gave you an anytime touchdown pick and a Super Bowl future and an NFC conference winner future. All I ask, smash the like button, comment down below. What do you think about these Super Bowl futures? You in? You out? Let me know why, of course, in the comments, and make sure to subscribe. But the only thing that we have to remember, it's very important, it's not gambling advice.